Greetings my friends, how are you doing? This is Zev from Z Outdoors. I hope you're having a great day. So, I'm in the countryside, man, out of London. I'm in a beautiful part of the country called Kent. For those of you not in the UK, it's the southeast. So imagine London here and going down in that southeast area. So I'm in Kent, I'm down here for the day. It's a Saturday, I came here early morning. So let me explain why I'm here. So as you know, I'm getting into bushcraft, I'm getting into all the crafts, whittling and leatherwork, all that kind of stuff in quite a big way. And pardon me, excuse the wind interference with the microphone. So what it is, I'm getting into all the natural crafts, okay, so whittling, leathercraft, all of that. And I'm connected with a lot of the kind of craftsmen throughout the UK. So it's like a very, very small circle, so everyone knows everyone. So I'm connected with a couple of people, and they put me in touch with a gentleman called Paul Bradley, aka Bardster. I've got to be careful how I pronounce that name. Is Bardster, and he's quite a prominent, well-known guy in the bushcraft community for his crafts and his knowledge. And I spoke to him. He's an awesome gentleman. He's based in Kent himself, and I spoke to him only just a few days ago. And he kindly invited me down to this open day right here. So as you can see, there's a whole bunch of work going on here. I'm literally at the countryside. I had to drive down loads of rural lanes for like about 4 or 5 miles. Very, very blessed. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. And I'm here for the entire day. And what's actually happening here, this is a spoon carving workshop. But it's not so much a workshop, it's more of a kind of open day. Most of the people that are here, in fact, pretty much everyone apart from me, they're pretty savvy when it comes to woodcraft. So you've got pole lathe guys and a whole bunch of kind of different stuff going on. Stuff that if I mention the names of, I'll probably just be pretending that I know what they're on about, but I actually don't. I'm very, very new to this stuff, as you know. So I'm here today, and I thought I'd just do a quick video diary. I say quick, it'll probably end up being quite an extensive video diary, but I thought I'd just kind of bring you on a journey with me, just to kind of show you what I'm doing here, and literally I'm just coming here just to soak up the different knowledge, see what different people are doing, what are the crafts that are out there. Already I'm learning quite a bit, I'm connected with really, really good people here. So why don't I take you in, just to actually see what's going on. Okay, so what I've done, I've taken it off the tripod now. Let me just do a bit of a 360. I'll walk through and I'll kind of do some zoom ups and just let you know what's going on. So this is the pole lathe guy here, I'm going to be speaking to shortly. So he got the gentleman right here working away. As you can see, loads of tools, loads of woods around. Sort of woodworking heaven here.
Deputy store manager.
Here's my setup here.
So what people do is they don't want 8 tubes to glue, so they tear one off the pad, then they go to the checkout. They can use the skin.
So there's the tools here that they're going to be selling. We'll be picking up some later on. This is the countryside here. Actually, let me do a bit of a panoramic here actually. So as you can tell, we're literally out in the sticks. Beautiful, beautiful location.
So sad.
So you've got the shed right here. Got a fleet of Land Rovers out there. So here you got guys that work in the Forestry Commission, brought in loads of stuff in the back of the trailer here in the Land Rover. All the different selection of woods, even on the bench here. So as you can see, so here's kind of like the 360 panoramic view. You've got a lot of traditional stuff here, the way people are doing it, like traditional camps here. All the way to kind of the new stuff. So here we go, our first heavy duty bit of woodwork machinery. Look at this, man, the thing looks like a beast. So do you want to introduce yourself and just tell us what you're doing now?
I'm Tom, and I am making a fairly traditional Scandinavian drinking cup called a kusko or a kassa, depending on where you're from. And it's from birch, and I've roughed it out with an axe and a hook tool to take out the bowl of the vessel, and now I'm just finishing the outside with a spoke shave.
Could you explain, what do you mean by a spoke shave?
Spoke shave is this tool, which is a blade similar to a plane held within this body, and it's a two-handed tool that you can obviously draw towards you, similar to a draw knife, but it's slightly more refined in the fact that you can set the distance and as such the size of the shavings that you produce. So it's quite good for very small.
And just earlier you were clamping it down with this. Could you just kind of demo that for us for a second? Just explain kind of what's going on here.
So the shave horse works on a pivot. And it's got a clamp in the headstock, and by pushing on the foot piece, you clamp your work against the bed. And it's quite good because the pressure goes on and off like that. There's no fiddling around. You can move it around as you choose, and it's quite a stable position to work on. It gives you all sorts of positions. Yeah.
It's either distracted by carving or getting distracted by people trying to talk to you.
And you were mentioning something about the pressure as well that you were applying to the grip.
Yeah. So
the
the more you push with your feet, the more pressure you get, and that sort of works quite nicely with the way you pull. As you're leaning back into your pull, you're also pushing away with your feet, which improves your leverage.
So how far are you away from kind of getting this finished then?
Not too far. I want to thin it down a little more. I don't want it too weighty, but certainly going to clean up this end, bring the tip round. Just thin it down a bit more generally. Have to do a bit more knife work here to neaten this up.
So how far before you put the Swedes out of business?
A long way. Yeah.
Awesome stuff, man. Well, thanks so much, man.
No problem.
Explain that on. And now we're going to move into someone you don't want to mess around with when he's holding something like this.
Me?
So check this out for a clamp. I think the last time I saw one of these was at school and I used to jump over them. Let's have a look here.
If you fail. You're supposed to clamp it in, which you don't do the other side.
Oh, so here you go. Oh, I was checking this out earlier on. This is absolutely beautiful. Could you explain what wood is this that you're carving these out of?
It's just a sweet chestnut log.
Sweet chestnut log, yeah?
Yep. Lots of hardwood in sweet chestnut. Lots of hollowing out. You'll be able to finish it today, but you'll have to let it dry because we tend to move a bit as they dry because it's got the heartwood and the sapwood in it.
So what are you going to be doing? Is this almost done then, this one? Or...
Yeah, so you've got to leave it because to dry out a bit because it'll twist slightly.
Gotcha.
And just finish it off. And you can call it a trencher for making dough or what you like, really. Just a nice big bowl. It's just an easy way of getting the relatively flat bottom. So it doesn't like the knot.
You know, one thing that's blown me away coming here, all the tools, man, that's absolutely fantastic. Are these your tools here?
They are.
So you've got the chisel.
Tiny chisel axe, a couple of gouges, and that's what we call the useful olive tool.
That's fantastic, man. The tools here, it's like Tool City, this one. So here you've got... So here we go right here, just moving across here. Remember I mentioned the tools that are absolutely beautiful. Sorry,
you can't take anywhere.
Z&D.
Yeah, I spoke to you on Facebook.
Oh yes, that's it, correct. Yeah, we connected on Facebook. Look, the power of social media.
It's amazing.
How you doing? You okay?
Yeah.
Sorry man, put you under pressure here with the camera work, man.
It's okay. Don't worry.
You know, you're making this look so easy, you know that.
I know, it's wonderful. I'm
Seriously, you're
enjoying
just...
sitting here watching it.
And it looks easy.
Well, it is, I thought when other people are doing it.
Yeah.
That's what other people are there for.
Yeah.
So here you go at the moment, I've just met Lawrence. Lawrence, thanks for taking out a few minutes for stuff. Do you explain what it is you do then, Lawrence? For a living?
What, from a work?
From a work perspective?
Yeah, I'm a tree surgeon.
You're a tree surgeon?
Tree surgery firm.
Excellent stuff, man. I was just looking at this fantastic collection here that you got. What is it you're doing here with this one here? So what wood is this, first of all?
This is a piece of oak which basically was already rotten in the tree, so that it actually naturally hollowed itself out. And I've basically started chipping out the worst of the decayed stuff that was inside it, and I'm not quite sure what we're going to make, but I'm looking at something along the lines of a sort of a naturally created bowl, basically. So.
Were you crafting it out with this beast here?
Yeah, my Grants 4 small forest axe. I've just started chopping down the sides really, just to actually get some weight off of it, ground flat on that side, so that I can. So basically, I'm just going to start taking a bit more off there, and it'll be. The bark off. Get some of the bulk off, and take it to the next stage on the shave horse with the draw knife.
Gotcha. So you're doing the bulk of the work with this one, and then?
Yeah, some of it. Remove quite a lot of wood quite quickly with an axe like this. Practice that.
God, that is proper cool.
Don't want to go too much with it, otherwise it starts being.
So do you want to talk us through some of the wood that you got here? There's a massive collection.
Oh yeah, they've got some quite interesting, unusual, quite a variety. I mean, that most bushcrafting people will recognise that as being silver birch, which is probably the ultimate bushcraft tree because of everything that can be used it for.
Gotcha.
But then we've got cherry and beech and.
So do you want to talk us through? So this is walnut here, isn't it?
That bit is there, but you wouldn't necessarily know from looking at it, other than the fact that I've written walnut on it. You can see there, the grain's that much darker, which is the walnut that people all, colour of walnut that people would expect. Gotcha. So I mean, most of this wood came from tree surgery work.
From the tree surgery work, this collection.
Yeah, that's where most of the stuff I do came from. Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, the last thing you were showing us your blade and the sheath. Would you mind showing us that again?
Yeah.
So Paul, I'm going to be speaking to shortly. The organiser of this is a leather craftsman. And do you want to talk us through what we've done here?
Basically, I commissioned him to make me a sheath for my billhook, which I use for snedding up branches. Occasionally I would use it for work. It hasn't really softened up yet. The leather's still a little bit stiff, but basically got his logo on the back.
Nice.
And flat with the studs to close it like that.
And this is a heavy duty piece of kit, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very, very thick, tough leather. You know, that's quite soft, but this is really quite rigid. Because you don't want to go actually cutting it with the blade, do you?
Excellent stuff. So here I am with the delightful Jill. There's actually a stalking story involved here. as to how I met Jill today at the event. So as you know, I've been connected quite heavily on Facebook and YouTube, and I've connected with Paul Bradley, who I'm going to be speaking to shortly. And as I was looking around for kind of like spoon carving workshops, as you do, I found a fan page. Was it Canterbury?
Spoon carving Canterbury.
It's in Canterbury in Kent. For those of you not in the UK, it's in the southeast part of the United Kingdom. And I only just saw it initially about 2 days ago, and there's a course running in 2 weeks' time. I saw the lady's name, took the phone number down, talked to her outside the house, that kind of stuff, you know, like trench coat, usual stuff. And then what I did was I thought, okay, I'm going to ring her after today, and lo and behold, I met Jill. How awesome is that, Jill? Thanks for taking a few minutes.
It's nice to meet you.
With the thing. So, Jill, can you explain what it is you do in general?
What I do in general is teach spoon carving. I make spoons and sell them in Canterbury. I make eating spoons, cooking spoons and decorative spoons out of the woods that I own in Canterbury. So it's part of the management process. There's a lot of wood lying about, and I thought something's going to be done with this. Something's going to be done with this. So I took my spoon carving.
How long ago was this?
6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing this full time now?
It's pretty much my full-time job. Yeah. I've got children, small children, so I'm still busy with them. The minute they're out the door, spoon carving. Yeah, straight away.
A massive cupboard opens up.
Yeah, on the table. There's a corner of the kitchen table. They all have to shuffle up that end of the table. So I'm at the other end.
Awesome stuff.
Making spoons.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to take the camera off the tripod. Apologies for the noise interference. I haven't got an external mic in. Because what I want to do, I want to show you like the setup of goggles. It's so awesome. So let me just do this now. So, George, you want to talk us through what you're doing right now?
Yeah, I've cut this out it's a piece of walnut, and I'm using this. It's a scorp made by a very talented bladesmith called Nick Westerman, but only available through his partner who helped design this shape, Lee Stoffer, and they make them and put the handles on between them. And it's the best tool you can get for digging the bowl out, because all the rest of the tools you can get readily from shops. Mm-hmm. You can use any knife, but a Mora 160 is the best knife. But this is the specialist tool that you can't readily get hold of.
So the Mora 160, actually you were talking about this earlier on, about some of the essential tools.
Yeah, the Mora 160 is it's a cheap Swedish knife made of high carbon steel, and it's got a very straight bevel here on it. Mm-hmm. This blade goes to a complete point and is very, very sharp, and it makes the perfect woodworking tool to use. It really is. It's got a simple handle, birch handle, and it comes with a plastic sheath. There's another one here. It comes in a simple plastic sheath that you can hook onto your belt, mm-hmm. should you want to carry it around. And they're easy to sharpen. They're about 20 quid, including postage, and they're the best wood carving knife you can get for the money, without any shadow of a doubt.
And you were talking about some of the axes earlier, weren't you?
Yeah,
I remember you were talking through.
I've got this. This is a Gransfors Brooks. I think it's a Cuban. This one. It's either it's the smallest one. The wildlife hatchet. It has a longer handle, but the same head. I think this is a Cuban with a short handle, so it's very portable. And you hold it for spoon carving. You hold it quite close to the hearth there, and you just make very small cuts with it, and you can use it to split the wood as well. And it's got the same very, very, very fine edge, which you can get on an axe that you bought in a boot fair or some other axe. But this is really a better quality steel in the first place. They're forged by individual makers.
And what would you typically pay for something like this?
Something like this is the last time I looked was about £60.
Okay.
Thereabouts, maybe 55.
Gotcha.
It comes with a case, a little leather case to stop the edge getting damaged, like that.
And it's a nice, you know, the cracking that lacks this. That'll get you going for spoon carving and chopping firewood.
Fantastic stuff. Well, this is a fantastic setup that you've got here. Do you know what, Jill? Obviously, I'm going to be seeing you in a couple of weeks. So, guys, you're going to see more of Jill in a couple of weeks' time when I go in and training. Just if guys want to find out more about what you're doing, where will they go to?
If you look on Facebook at Treed and Woods Spoon Carving Canterbury, and just check out my Facebook page. I'm listing the dates there of when my lessons are.
Excellent. Jill, well, thank you once again for taking out a few minutes of your time.
It's lovely to talk to you, Zed.
Thank you very much, Jill. So here we are with this contraption here, which most of you are looking at thinking, what is this? So I'm with the gentleman here behind it. John, how are you doing?
I'm alright.
Thanks for taking out a few minutes. Can you explain what it is you're doing here?
I'm turning wood on a pole lathe. This piece of wood is an old chair leg which I'm going to just adapt.
Okay.
But normally you would use green wood, like the logs over there.
So these ones here, yeah?
Yeah, and you would split them down, and you would then draw them out on the draw knife till they're more or less round, and then you would mount them on this. This is just a bit of linseed oil so it doesn't squeak.
So could you talk me through the actual machine here itself? What this does?
This is a treadle.
Okay.
Usually we operate them from a sapling that's bent over and is sprung up and down, but we're using a bungee today because we've gone hard ground and we weren't sure what was what here. So you basically get the string, put that round 1, 2, 3 times. Before we do that, we'd have to just adjust the pole lathe. You adjust the beds by, there's wedges in these, and then they move along to the appropriate location. This is the adjustment screw, which is just a threaded rod through the head. And once you've got it in rough position, you would knock these wedges in, and that makes it tight. You then get the string, wrap it round a few times in between these 2 points, and this is then threaded out, as you see, and onto the piece of wood.
Gotcha.
And then it comes back. Now, as I then press down the lathe, so the wood turns towards me.
See you again.
Okay. Cheerio. Cheerio. The wood comes towards me, so I can actually cut it. You know, I have a rest here, which sits like this.
Okay.
And that enables me to use chisels. Now, this chisel is just slightly rounded. It's a gouge, and that's for roughing out. So basically to take the rough off. So like so, you can see the shavings are coming off. Once you've got the shavings off, you can then start if I was using green wood, it would be much quieter.
Right.
And there would be bigger shavings coming off. But this is a dry piece of wood. So that's the roughing out stage. That's the roughing out stage. We then get what they call a planing chisel, which is a flat chisel. And that enables me to then go along and get it smooth. Now that finish, you won't even need to sandpaper that. That's nice and smooth. That's a finished piece of wood. And then you can do shapes in it. This is a skew chisel. So with this chisel we can basically cut down.
Gotcha.
And cut down again. And another one there. Then we take out a small V from each of these. A small V from this one. To widen the gap. Then cut deep again, deep again. So you can make patterns and things. Then we can just turn these over, use the other side of the chisel to make basically round beads.
God, you make sure it's so easy, this one.
Yeah, it takes a bit of time. The trouble is you can only cut as I press the treadle down. As you look at the treadle, as it goes down, you can only cut. I'm having to rock the chisel out every time it comes back up. So if you can probably can't detect that minute movement. So hence that's the, in a standard chair leg, two beads, and then you can then taper down as you want. So you can taper that down to whatever shape. So this is almost like a mini chair leg, if you like. But just to illustrate to you the capabilities of this piece of equipment, you can turn bowls, goblets, platters, just by having different headstocks and doing different things. No noise, no dust, and particularly with the green timber, I often do it in the woods, so when you cut down the timber it's there beside you, and sustainable in all ways.
That's fantastic, man. So what kind of stuff does your organisation do then throughout the country?
The Association of Pole Lathe Turners and Green Woodworkers, it deals with everybody who is involved in working with green wood. So it includes some longbow makers, lots of spoon carvers, lots of people who carve in wood, but generally the association brings together everybody who deals with green wood, because traditionally people work with green wood because it's easier to work with green wood, and nowadays the power lathes and the machines have taken over, but it's basically by hand using green wood. So the people will make bowls, platters, goblets, and we've got people who also make the tools, because you can't buy the tools anymore. So you're having to make up your own tools to suit. For instance, if I turned a goblet on here with a piece of wood on there, I need a hook tool, which would go in and hollow out the goblet. You can't buy those, you have to make those.
Okay.
Okay, so that's it in practice, but it includes people who make fence hurdles, all sorts of things. We're about 1,000 strong now, and every year we have a gathering where we have around about 500 turn up from all over the country.
Nice. So if people want to find out more about the kind of activities that you're involved in, what you do as an organisation, do you have a website that people can go to?
Traditionally people who worked in the woods on pole lathes were known as bodgers.
Okay.
That's where the expression comes from. But they were really skilled people. So our website's known as www.bodgers.org.uk, and there's lots of information on there. You can become a member on there. There's also a forum for discussion and exchange of ideas and information.
Excellent. Well, John, thank you once again for taking the time out and showing us around. Thank you very much once again.
Okay, cheerio. Okay.
So last but not least, we want to speak to the man himself, Mr. Paul Bradley. Paul, how are you doing, sir?
All right, thank you.
So it's a bit of an interesting one with Paul. I got a recommendation to connect with him through another gentleman, John, from Bodgers, the organisation, inquiring about guys based in the South East I can learn the crafts from, and he mentioned Paul's name, so I connected with Paul, stalked him for a couple of hours, and then we connected on Facebook.
Pleasant conversation.
It was a pleasant conversation, and he was very kind enough to pass me a number. We spoke, and then he kindly invited me down to this meet up here. So Paul, for those that might not know what you're about and your background, do you want to talk a little bit about kind of what you do?
This is all a hobby for me. I help create and produce the Bushcraft magazine, which is a magazine for bushcrafters, and part of that I do the craft side. So I do leather work and woodwork, green woodworking, and all those other related crafts, where we have other people on the magazine that do plants, cooking, fishing and so on. This is my skill set.
So you mentioned the Bushcraft magazine. What is that exactly?
It's a magazine for and by bushcrafters. It's locally produced. It's not commercial, or it's commercial in that we do like to make money, but it's not overly commercial. You can't buy it in the high street. You can only buy it online or at various shows dedicated or affiliated to bushcraft. like woodworking shows. You know, I can show you the cover of our latest
Actually,
issue.
please, yeah, that would be fantastic to see that.
So that's the Bushcraft magazine.
Okay.
So it has articles on wild food, on crafts, and country living in effect.
Is this only available in the UK, or is it?
It's available worldwide.
Okay.
So we will send it worldwide. But my affiliation is that I write articles for it. But we also run courses on foraging, leatherworking, woodworking, and I do the craft side of those here at our site in the heart of Kent.
So this site here is an absolutely stunning site. Do you want to talk me through kind of what we got here? I know this field here, just kind of where my finger's pointed down there. You said you have meetups.
Yeah,
or?
we have the slips and we have camping here. Beyond that, we have the vineyard and the yew tree field up the side.
Gotcha.
We have a little woodland that we have a permanent kitchen area.
Okay.
And we generally have a parachute up there. And this is where most of our courses are based out of. Fantastic.
So speaking of your courses, if people want to find out more about the courses that you hold and training that you do, where would they go to?
To www.bushcraft-magazine.co.uk. If you forget the hyphen, you'll get the other Bushcraft magazine, which is a lot more slick and commercial than we are.
Okay,
and
gotcha.
it's available in WH Smith's.
Gotcha.
It's a good magazine, but it has a different focus.
So a question for you, how did you get into the crafts yourself?
I used to do Viking reenactment, which is how I got into leatherworking. I've always lived in and around the woods, so it's always been part of my life, really.
Excellent stuff, man. We're hearing some great stuff about your work,
Thank you.
about the leather. Hopefully we'll be seeing you very soon to spend a day with you, picking up some skills and what have you not. So what have you, other stuff you've got planned this year in terms of events that you're going to be attending? Or
we have our own May Day festival,
okay.
which is here in Edgerton. It's a 3-day bushcraft event.
Okay.
There'll be pole lathe, green woodworking, foraging, deer preparation, rabbit prep, pigeons, wild food, lots and lots of things for bushcrafters. I'll be at the Bodgers Ball personally, and there's the Wilderness Gathering is the UK's biggest bushcraft festival, and that takes place generally August-September time.
Gotcha, yeah, I heard great things about the Wilderness Gathering.
It's absolutely fantastic.
In terms of your crafts, lastly, do you have like stuff for sale online? Because I've seen some of your stuff and it's absolutely
not
amazing.
Not really, it's a hobby.
Okay, right.
It's not something I do for a living. So I do a 9-to-5 job during the week, or usually 8 till 6, but you know, and then evenings and weekends are my time, and that's when I do woodworking and leatherworking. I take commissions, but I don't like to do multiple things of the same thing. I don't like doing production work, whether that be spoons, tankards, leather cases for axes, and there's plenty of other people out there that are making a living doing that. So I will tend to do bespoke work, custom work, one-offs for friends and people that know me.
So you're the last question I've got. It's something actually is personal and obviously relevant to the way we connected, and that is for people like myself who are looking to get into the crafts related to the outdoors and bushcraft. What kind of advice would you give them? Let's say someone, a young guy in the state.
Get out and do it. There's loads with the internet. There is more choice than ever before. When I was growing up, if you didn't hear about it, you didn't know about it. The young people of today have so much choice. The internet is a huge resource. There's loads of forums out there. There's Facebook groups, and you can get in touch with magazines like us through the internet. Whereas you wouldn't have been able to know. We wouldn't exist without the internet telling people who we are, because we don't have a distribution deal. People just wouldn't know we existed.
Yeah, I mean, I was explaining to a couple of the guys earlier on that literally over 95% of the people I've connected with, including yourself, has been through Facebook, YouTube.
Yeah, it's changed. It's changed the world. It really has. And the young people growing up with it aren't going to know any different. I grew up in the woods. I mean, Ray Mears was a phenomenon. I grew up playing in the woods, doing bushcraft. I didn't know it until I was in my 30s, and suddenly this guy comes on the TV doing what I did as a kid and calling it bushcraft. And suddenly I realised there's other people out there.
Yeah.
And that's when I got into the Bushcraft UK forum, and through that the magazine, and it's how I got here today, really.
I mean, the one thing that's fascinated me moving into the crafts is the wealth of history in the UK, for crafts and stuff. I mean, what's your take on a lot of it dying out or a lot of it kind of being lost? I mean, do you agree with that kind of
No, and this is why I'm a big supporter of the Heritage Crafts Foundation, run by, chaired by Robin Wood. It's promoting traditional crafts and trying to get people back in and doing it. It's why I run days like these, to get young people and people that aren't familiar with it, city folk, you know, country folk that don't know exists, you know, with people like the pole lathe turners, you know, basket weaving, hedge laying. I've done hedge laying and rake making, all these things that we need to keep alive.
Yeah, I think the internet's playing a big part in that.
Yes.
I mean, I know it spikes my interest in that.
Well, it means more people become aware of it and think, oh, I'd like to have a go at that. Whereas before, you would have, every village would have their own craftsman. You know, if you lived near a wood, there would be people working those woods and making a link for it and selling to that village. With the dying out of that and everybody moving to the cities and office work and everything else, it started dying out because those skills weren't shared. Now that we have the internet, I can learn from a basket maker up north, through videos, through online. I can know of their existence and know that they do courses via the internet, so I can go to them and learn that skill. Without the internet, I wouldn't even know they existed.
Yeah. Well, Paul, how do people want to find out, how personally connect with you in terms of what you do and follow kind of your progress?
They can connect through me through the magazine. We have our own Facebook page, and we have our own website. Come along and see us at various shows.
Excellent. Well, Paul, thank you once again for taking the time out to record this video, and also thank you so much for inviting me down. I've had an absolute blast today, connected with some really, really great people, and to think you guys are taking your own time out to put this setup together, and more importantly, free teas. I mean, come on, can't get a British event with free teas, man. So,
yeah, and builders tea at that.
And builders tea at that, man. So it was some absolutely fantastic. Thank you once again, Paul.
You're welcome.
Much appreciated. So there you have it, folks. That was an absolutely awesome day. Very tiring day. It's been a long day. Been up from this morning. This is where you pull out the violin. So I look a little bit dishevelled, I know. So unfortunately, it's just the way I was born. But it's just been a genuinely awesome day. But it just goes to prove that you just need to connect, get out there. There's stuff happening everywhere. This place is only about, literally 50-minute drive from where I am in London. It wasn't that bad, and that was mainly because of a lot of country lanes, so you've got to slow down, not breaking the speed limit. But it has been an awesome time. I've connected with a lot of people. Like I said, the lady Jill, who I'm going to be doing a course with in a couple of weeks' time. Surprisingly, I didn't know she was going to be here, so it was really good to connect with her in person. Got a lot of advice from people, what equipment to get, what tools. I've been invited down, this is the best part, connected with 3 different people here who live right next to the woods. One of them practically lives there all the time with his partner. They've invited me down just to say, hey look, come down, chill out for the day, camp out, do whatever. Even Jill, kindly, you know, where they do the training. You'll see the videos and the pictures when I take them. You'll be blown away. The location that they've got, absolutely stunning. You know, like a real old forest and really scenic, especially at this time of year. So anyway, like I said, I've just done this video today. I just thought, you know, share my experience with you. You know, take you with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Like I said, you know, I'm going to be doing a lot of these and just kind of taking you with me. These videos that I do on YouTube, I just see as a video diary. You know, stuff that I can look back on and just kind of remember, pass on to if I have children. Well, so I'm getting emotional. But no, it's like I said, thank you for taking the time out to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. You know, if you've got any thoughts, comments, questions, whatever, then just kind of, you know, leave them down below. I'm becoming a lot more active now on other social media platforms. Only recently launched my fan page, which is taken off a storm. The links for everything are below. Instagram, I've taken a lot of pictures. I've taken a lot of photography type photos of this event as well. So if you're subscribed to my fan page, I'll be posting them up there very soon. As with all the events now, I kind of dusted my DSLR camera after like 2-3 years in storage. And I'm not a photographer, just kind of more of a hobbyist. So I've really, you know, taken a lot of photos today. First time in 3 years, can you believe I've taken photos on my DSLR. Like I said, just connect with my social media. I've got a new logo now, so maybe you've seen that. A lot of people are asking me about where the logos come about from. It's not an image swipe from Google. It's actually made by a friend of mine who's an artist, a full-time artist now. She's originally from London. She only recently moved to Birmingham. I'm going to do a blog post, possibly even a video, talking about the history of the logo. It was done from scratch, something I'm extremely happy with. So you're going to notice a lot more action on my part in terms of you know, the engagement on social media, the content I'm going to put out, videos. Obviously going to a lot of bushcraft meetups now and training, and you know, so it's going to be really, really cool kind of seeing the stuff happening. Obviously the weather's now sprucing up a lot better in the UK. I mean, today I've been so honoured. It's been absolutely cracking weather, and all round it's been an awesome day. So thank you once again for watching this video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any comments, leave them below. Connect with me on social media. And once again, until next time, this is Zed from Zed Outdoors. Peace out.